Ladies and gentlemen, the world of professional wrestling never stops, and welcome to another ridiculous report. We have an insane weekend of wrestling. NXT Great American Bash, AEW All in Texas, Saturday night's main event, and WWE Evolution 2025 all in the same weekend. It's absurd. Well, let's start off with AJ Lee. She hasn't wrestled in a decade. She hasn't wrestled since 2015, and fans are still clamoring for her return, and the company is seemingly building up that anticipation this week. They released a social media post with AJ Lee versus Paige, now known as Saraya, from SummerSlam 2014. And then today on WWE Vault's YouTube channel, they released the story of AJ Lee. So fans are getting hyped that AJ Lee's going to be there. I don't think she will be. I hope she is, as Evolution is on pace to be one of the lowest selling WWE pay-per-views in a long time. I hope that she is there, but I feel like they would have been much better off if she was going to show up to announce her there so people buy tickets. But we'll see. I hope AJ Lee returns, but we've been hoping for this for over a decade now. Our last match was on March 30th, 2015 on Raw. So, I mean, that was a long-ass time ago, but we'll see. I'm hoping these rumors come true. I'm hoping WWE isn't just screwing with people and then doing this for a reason, posting a bunch of AJ Lee stuff. I would love to see her at Evolution. I would love to see her and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. There's a million dream matches you could have with AJ Lee if she returns. I just am not getting my hopes up. I've seen this movie 40,000 times before, but we'll see. We'll see. Raquel Rodriguez is fresh off a great street fight against Rhea Ripley, in my opinion, at Night of Champions last month in Saudi Arabia. Well, Kevin Nash, on his Click This podcast, criticized Rodriguez for her in-ring work, saying that she worked too small. Here's Nash's quote. "I'm pissed at her because she always works down. She works small. I'll see her selling, and she'll make herself small instead of staying up and selling big." It's a small criticism. I don't really see that with Rodriguez. I just think that she's not very good on promos, and they really haven't had a direction for her this entire time. She's just been in the Judgment Day. She's a 4-time women's tag team champion with Liv Morgan. Morgan can't defend the titles with her at Evolution, so Roxanne Perez will be taking her place. But I don't really see that with Raquel Rodriguez. I think she's a great worker in the ring. I thought Rhea Ripley sold her ass off in that street fight, and Rodriguez dominated the majority of it. So I tend to disagree there, but Kevin Nash knows a lot more about professional wrestling than me and a lot more about working as a bigger star. So maybe Rodriguez can take this advice to heart, but I think she's doing fine. I think they just need to have a direction for her rather than just a bit player in the Judgment Day. Britt Baker, an AEW original who's been absent from AEW television for what feels like an eternity. It's been far too long for Britt Baker not to be on AEW television. No matter what the backstage issues are, she's one of their biggest stars in the women's division. It's ridiculous to keep her off television. There were recent reports that she asked to leave AEW, asked for a release. That's been denied. Now Tony Khan on the All In media call provided an update and said he's never heard anything about Britt Baker asking for a release. He said that Britt Baker is someone that AEW can utilize in the right situation at the right time. He's proud of the people that they're focusing on now on AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision, but Britt Baker could come back in the future. Here's what he said. "We've done a really good job of the people we're focusing on now, but that doesn't mean we can't focus on other people or rotate different people into the show going forward." I'm not sure why Britt Baker needs to be a part of a rotation. I don't know why she's like a part-time wrestler in AEW. She quit her dentist job to become a full-time wrestler, and they don't even use her. I don't understand this. It's not like they're getting, a million-plus viewers per Dynamite. I don't understand why you take away people with name value or controversial stars that people want to talk about. You just shoo them away. Why? Because of backstage atmosphere? That does nothing for fans. I'm not impressed with that comment from Tony Khan. I'd like to see Britt Baker back on AEW television, so hopefully she's a part of the Casino Gauntlet match at All In or something, or gets released and goes to WWE. I'm tired of not seeing her and hearing stupid reports about her over and over. Just put her on television. She's one of the biggest stars you have, in my opinion. She's got a lot of issues. A lot of people hate her. A lot of people love to hate her, too. So that's why I'd have her back on television. All right, we'll wrap up this episode of The Ridiculous Report with some WWE predictions, starting with Saturday night's main event. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre singles match. Drew McIntyre just returned. Randy Orton lost to Cody Rhodes in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. You don't need to hand Drew McIntyre a loss again. His last match was a loss against Damian Priest at Saturday night's main event in May in a steel cage match. Please don't have Drew McIntyre lose his return match. Randy Orton can take 500 losses in a row and be placed in a WWE Championship feud, and nobody would think twice of it. So Randy Orton can afford a loss to Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. I'm expecting some kind of interference here. I can't imagine they'd give LA Knight a win, so I'm picking Seth Rollins. Either Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, or all three will interfere, or we'll get a new member of Paul Heyman's faction introduced. We've had Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, several stars rumored for that, so we'll see if that comes to fruition at Saturday night's main event, but I'm expecting Rollins to get this win. Finally, we get to the World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Goldberg. I'm expecting some kind of bullshit in this match. I can't imagine they're just going to have Gunther squash Goldberg. They're not going to have Goldberg squash Gunther and take the title and retire unless Seth Rollins cashes in right away. That's the only way I can see a title change here, and I don't want to see that. Have Goldberg hit a spear, hit a jackhammer if he can. Gunther kicks out, and then end the match within 90 seconds after that moment. Please, Goldberg does not win his retirement match, does the right thing, puts Gunther over. I hope. I really hope that's what happens here. And finally, let's get to the predictions for Evolution. Naomi and Jade Cargill are wrestling again, this time in a no-holds-barred match. Naomi lost to Jade Cargill at WrestleMania 41. Jade Cargill is the queen of the ring and will be competing for a title at SummerSlam, and Naomi won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match last month, so she can cash in whenever she wants. I'd like to see Naomi get a win here, but I don't know why they'd give Jade Cargill a loss right off of winning Queen of the Ring, but Naomi could use a victory here. She in this rivalry with Cargill, or if Naomi loses, she could cash in during Jade Cargill's title match at SummerSlam to extend their rivalry. We'll see, but I'm going with Naomi here. It's no holds barred. Maybe someone will interfere, or she'll bash Cargill with a chair 500 times to get the win, but I'm going with Naomi. Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley. Becky Lynch won the title at Money in the Bank. I don't think they're going to take the title off her this quick. At least I hope not. I would have this match be the main event. This has been my favorite storyline on Raw at the moment, so I would have this match be the main event and Becky Lynch retain. Bayley and Valkyria could spin off into a rivalry. Maybe Valkyria turns heel. I think she's going to be much better off as a heel. Becky Lynch will be retaining and continue to establish the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the main roster. I'm expecting this match to be the match of the night as well. Number 1 Contenders Battle Royal. The winner gets a title shot at Clash in Paris at the end of August. Nikki Bella is in this match. She was supposed to be facing Liv Morgan or be teaming up with Brie Bella to face Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, but Liv Morgan's dislocated shoulder last month prevented that, so Bella's in the Battle Royal. Maybe Brie Bella will be in that as well. I'm assuming there's going to be tons of legends, people we haven't seen in 10 years showing up at that Battle Royal. I'm going with Stephanie Vaquer to win this match. She's just a star. She's been electric since being called up to the main roster. I've seen her in NXT, but just on the main roster, it's just very evident that she's a star and she's going to be a player in the women's division for the next decade. So I'm picking her to win this match and get a title shot at Clash in Paris. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez will be defending their women's tag team championships in a fatal four-way against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Zarya and Sol Ruka. I don't think Perez and Rodriguez will be retaining here. I think they'll use Liv Morgan's injury as a way to take the titles away from the Judgment Day. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair make sense for WWE television reasons. They're going to be an unlikely duo who win the titles, and then within a month they're going to be bickering and fighting, leading to a feud. Maybe Alexa Bliss turns heel, Charlotte Flair turns babyface. They want Flair to be babyface. At least Flair wants to be babyface. So I think they're going to give Bliss and Flair the titles only for them to betray each other next month. NXT Women's Championship match, JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace. I think it has to be Jordynne Grace. She's just a star, former TNA Knockouts champion, built like a brick shithouse. She just looks ridiculous. She's incredibly athletic. Just give the title to Grace. Moving on. WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. This match is just thrown together last week. No way they're having Trish Stratus win the title. Tiffany Stratton gets the win. Hopefully it's a good match, but I'm not all excited about this one. And finally, the Women's World Championship. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Sky won the title from Ripley on the Raw After Elimination Chamber 2025. Successfully successfully defended the title against Ripley and Belair in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41, and then hasn't defended the title since. So I've been very disappointed with what they've done with Sky following that WrestleMania 41 victory, which I thought was like the match of the entire show. They haven't done anything with Sky. Maybe there's an undisclosed injury, but she's wrestled a couple times, but not since like May 12th. So maybe she's been out with an injury and they've just been hiding that. But been disappointed with Sky's reign following WrestleMania, and I think it's coming to an end at Evolution. I think Ripley's going to win the title back, have another reign as Women's World Champion. She's one of the biggest stars in the company, the biggest star in the women's division. Makes sense to have her be champion again. I just wish they did something more with Sky following WrestleMania. But that is it for this edition of the Ridiculous Report. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. Have a good one.